Hello and welcome to episode 29 of SAAB Fever. My name's Frank, and in today's episode we'll be changing the temperature sensor on a SAAB 95. As you can see here, the Project 95's got a few faults. I'm only dealing with the top issue today. The combustion detection problems are going to have to wait for another day. I'm taking a bit of a gamble on this. It's entirely possible that the short being detected is actually a wiring fault and not the sensor. I've had a quick look at the wiring and it seems fine, but I haven't really had a detailed play with it. And I know the sensor's probably the original one it left the factory with, so like I said, I'm going to take a bit of a gamble and just replace the sensor. Just checking here I've got the right size socket. You'll need a deep 19mm socket. As you can see, it fits over the sensor's electrical connector quite nicely, so there's no issues there. The sensor's located on the side of the head where I'm pointing here. It goes in sideways into the engine, like so, and in essence we'll just be sliding onto it and unscrewing it. I'm going to leave that somewhere handy though. Once you remove the coolant sensor, obviously the coolant inside will start flowing out, so I'm going to use one of my fingers over the hole left by the sensor just to make sure I don't lose too much coolant. Obviously I will lose a small, very small amount, to be honest. Chances are I probably won't even need to top up after I've done this. It's a little fiddly down there. There's a lot of wires and tubes and pipes and everything, but it can be done. You don't really need to remove anything else to get to it. You do need to lift the main coolant hose out of your way slightly, just so you can get the socket and the ratchet in, but as you can see, it's not really that difficult. I'm actually having more effort getting the ratchet onto the socket than anything else here. And a quick tug and that's it, broken free now. I can actually do the rest by hand. I've decided to remove the socket here and do it entirely by hand. I even swap hands in a minute. I realised it would actually be much easier to use the thumb on my right hand to block the hole. So while you've got another lovely shot of my elbow here, what I'm actually doing is unscrewing it with my left hand. And there's the old sensor out. As you can see there, my blue thumb is holding the coolant in. New sensor, and quickly screw that in. It doesn't really leak much. I mean, since the car obviously isn't running, it's a stone cold engine at the moment. There isn't really any kind of pressure built up in the coolant system, so it's not even trying to force its way out at the moment. I'll just put the socket back on here just to make it a little easier to screw it in. And then finally give it a little tighten down with the ratchet. There we go, that's that, nice and snug. Now it's just a case of putting the electrical connector back on. Helps if you put it on the right way round, of course. Here's a shot from the back of the engine, so we're looking towards the front of the car. Nice new shiny temperature sensor in place. You can see there has been a little bit of leakage, but nothing too big. And here's another shot from above. You can just see the sensor through all the pipes and wires and tubes that are there. Now I'm happy to report it's been about a week or so since I've replaced it and the fault hasn't come back, so chances are it was the sensor. As always, thanks for watching.